says it's going live, and we are live. We're supposed to be. Good morning. This is behind the scenes, everybody. So thanks for checking in early.
This is usually our, for folks that are listening for the first time, this is usually Val Olson and me, Greg Meekin. This is our little secret chat before the show starts. Hard start coming up in about 3 minutes. But believe it or not, Val, there's some of our secret previews like we're doing right now. They're actually on our YouTube channel. Some of the best radio you've heard, because a lot of it is like not only uncensored, but like uncensored. So we got about 3 minutes. If you just want to say hi to everybody, we're live back here, folks. We're going to be on a bunch of platforms today. We'll take the first few minutes getting our logistics sorted out. I'm going to work on my Facebook page, make sure it's shared and stuff, Val. But this is where we sit, and we've been sitting here for almost 4 years at Val Olson's kitchen table in sunny Arizona. And I have my chocolate milk here. I drink chocolate milk now because I'm trying to put weight on. Anyhow, we had that. If you missed last week's episode, that's where we talked about the chocolate milk for breakfast. Val, why don't you take just a couple of minutes and straight into the show? We looks about 1 or 2 minutes left here. So welcome everybody. This has been our little secret preview. I turned it over to Val Olson. Miss Val, our military radio gal.
I have tea this morning. Yeah, so just about a minute until we're ready to do a hard start here. We try and go right on time, right on schedule. If you are tuning in right now, share this broadcast. I'm actually, Greg, because we have 1 minute, I'm going to run out and just make sure we are streaming on Front Layer really fast, okay? So you've got 1 minute to talk to everyone, but that way we know Front Layer is working, and we're streaming on Roku, Apple. So I'm going to go do a quick check. So
you know what? Okay, go ahead.
Do you need someone else doing a check?
No, I'm watching as we speak. Okay, I think we are live.
Oh, you're watching it. You're watching. Okay, well then I don't have to.
I'm multitasking. I'm growing up. I'm growing
up. You're in grade 1.
Dude, I'm getting young enough, like a Gen X. I might be a millennial any minute here. I'm trying to multitask and keep up to you guys. So it looks like we're live and we're going here, Val. I'll leave it to you to take the show off, to launch the show, eh?
I think I need a star for you. I need to have a star ready for you. You're taking on all this added responsibility.
Remember, with baby boomers, to motivate them in the workplace, give them little trophies, little blue ribbons, little stars, put their name on a plaque, and they'll give their life to you. Go ahead, Val, start the show.
Oh, okay. Well, I will work on making some trophies, but for now, I will give you a gold star. I'm going to tuck you into the green room, you and your chocolate milk. And so you just sip away, and we are going to start the show now.
Welcome to Continue Mission Radio with Captain James McCormick. By veterans, for veterans. Guest hosts tonight are author Greg Meekin and Miss Val, our military radio gal. Continue Mission starts now.
You got me headed to the left, headed to the right, headed back and forth, but baby, it's alright. You got me going to the east, going to the west, going up and down, cause baby, you know best. All day, all night, running around, I'm never gonna stop because you never settle down.
Good morning, America. Good morning, world. We're so thankful that you're here. It's September 10th, 2025, and this show is coming to you from the great state of Arizona. This is another rapid deployment of Continue Mission Radio with Captain James McCormick. I am Val Olson, and I'm here today at my kitchen table alongside Greg Meekin. And my doorbell might just ring in case we have a guest or two. This is an exciting show because it is another broadcast on the Veteran Channel. Just like Continue Mission, the Veteran Channel is produced by veterans for veterans. So let's light the fuse, buckle up, everyone. Welcome to Continue Mission. Greg Meekin, what is on your heart today?
Well, good morning, Val Olson. Good morning, everybody out there that's going to be watching this live, but mainly watching it replatformed and shared over the next week or so. Val will talk about that. But what's on my heart? I'll tell you what's on my heart is let's start where everybody likes to stay focused, and that's on the weather. Okay, the weather, it is just after Labor Day in Arizona, and we're looking at today. We've got 105 degrees Fahrenheit. And so for our folks up in Canada and England and elsewhere, that is 41 degrees Celsius. Okay. So, but the nice thing is, nice news is this next 2-3 months in Arizona are going to be beautiful. And I'm going to be laughing. On social media. My buddy's up in Seattle when it's raining, and my buddy's up in Montreal when there's 87 feet of snow. I don't even do metrics anymore, meters or whatever, but 87 feet's a lot of feet anyhow. God bless everybody. Howdy, everybody. This is going to be so cool today. Before belaboring everything we do here, okay, on the Veteran Channel, on Continue Mission, and our other radio products, everything we do here is about the homeland. Okay? It's about the home front. There are 1,000 different groups out there that are awesome. They're supportive. We've got our military guys. We've got all our others. But right now, the theme to me is GFF, God, Family, Freedom. Okay. But protecting the home front. In the old days, one of my favorite miniseries out there in the world was The Home Front. Did you ever see this, Val? Or you're too young for that?
I guess I'm too young.
Yeah. The Home Front was a miniseries. And I'm thinking it was probably 30 years ago, and it was the World War II era, kind of like you'd see nowadays and stuff, but it was World War II issues. And it was really, really cool, kind of the Rosie the Riveter era, the struggle between labor and military and whatever, and really down to earth. In those days, protecting the home front was what it was all about. And protecting the homeland. That's what it was all about. Because in the past, our homeland hasn't been protected. I told you a few shows ago, Val, in Montreal, we had air raid sirens. Air raid sirens for when possibly if German bombers came over Montreal. Are you kidding me? So, and everything we do here, and I can't wait for this guest. I pray he's able to come up here. Matt Cody. I always say spelled Coday and pronounced Cody, like Wild Bill Cody. And he is the president of the Oil and Gas Workers of America. And this is where I tie in everything. Thank you for that, Val. That is Matt with the president. And he's at the White House today, Val, or at least talking to White House staff. Very cool. But as you'll see, I'll let him talk for himself. There's just not enough time to give an incredible bio of this guy, but what he represents, the Oil and Gas Workers of America, this is like the Vietnam Veterans of America. These are great big organizations. They're awesome. They're great people. They run our country. Okay, these guys. I'm getting emotional already here. Talk to Matt Cody for a day or two leading up to a radio show, and you're ready to change the world. These guys are rock stars. It's the first thing I'm going to tell him. When he comes live, he's a rock star. These guys are rock stars. All they do is work, Val. All they do is work. And even the quiet guys, the retired guys, the disabled guys, tons of those guys. They're in the game. They still want to play. They still want to play in the sandbox and see what they can do. The most amazing guys in the world are those older Vietnam veterans who are taking care of the younger ones. Matt Cody will have a lot to say about this today, but in the end, oil and gas workers of America, they're into, okay, get this, energy security is national security. Hello. And all we have to do is tee up Matt on that question and maybe get him and James McCormick into the same room at the same time. And here we go. Because it is. Energy security is national security. Home front security is national security. I think everything, education security is national security. So
I love what you're planting. I love what you're planting this morning, because you really are spelling it out for people. And especially when we talk about our Vietnam vets, and any vet for that matter, this show is for you. Let it be a reminder that you are needed. We are ready to redeploy. We are recruiting actively. So this is a place and space for you. We don't waste time here. We actually delve into the problems source level. I am a source level investigative journalist. I spent close to 30 years on the air in Canada, radio and TV. And I am right where I'm supposed to be here on the Veteran Channel. It's an honor and a privilege to be here alongside of you, Greg, and just the guests and the meetings that we attend. This is high level source to source. And, so the fact that you're here and you've stumbled on it, don't stop there. Keep in touch, because retirement is just long enough to retire yourself and get ready for redeployment. And our world and this country needs you. And it starts at the home front. Domestic security is a top priority of mine as a wife and mom. And I'm looking at what we have here in Arizona. Arizona is a great state. It starts with the fluffy clouds in the sky. You got to look around your airspace, right? You've got to look in your own house and make sure that you have it together at home, because you can't fix much if you don't have it at home going on in the right way. So that's our first message: is take care of yourself, and that's where we're going to start today. We want to remind you, we are now streaming on Apple, on Roku, on Prime. So if you're not following us on your devices, please log in and do that. And Greg Meekin's YouTube channel as well. So back to you, Greg.
Thank you so much. We have a little bit of quiet time here. We are expecting any moment, because we've left the landing strip open for guests who parachute in. We actually have two people that might, and I say or might not. Because these guys get called out at the last minute. I heard yesterday, our possible guest today, James McCormick, you should see his schedule today in Washington, D.C., Val. He starts
Is he busy? I know we're booked in.
But James McCormick indeed might parachute in. I doubt it, because he's really slammed. But we will also, hopefully, fingers crossed, I have Matt Cody, president of the Oil and Gas Workers of America, a large association. I'm going to have him confirm numbers and stuff. Amazing organization, membership organization. And whenever you get these associations, remember, there's always exponential 3, 4, 5 times that number of folks that are out there and supportive. So he's got a very powerful organization. Just ask Donald Trump. He's chatted with the president a few times. Let's just say a few times. Because the president wants to know about his energy policy and what the boots in the ground vibe is. I've said this so often about Matt. The thing I love about him, and seriously, I've gotten blessed to have known him now for, it's probably going on 3 years. And so many times I've chatted with him. He's a Texas guy, hardest working guy in the world. What I love about him is a lot of guys you meet out there, goodness gracious, who are presidents or politicians or whatever, they kind of get drunk with their own power, and they love that being president. I love it. Captains of ships. I've seen people that would let their ship go down because they can't be captain. So when you chat, the more you chat with Matt Cody, he's at the very, very top, and that's and I'm talking the White House and involved legislation and trying to get pipelines going. Hello, wait till you hear this guy's story, especially natural gas. Natural gas can be really, really big. But what I like is he always brings it down to the home front, boots on the ground, gas prices. Yeah, I'm going to quiz him today. How come they're still so high? Here we go. He'll have an answer for that. Gas prices, utilities costs. I've heard people, the cost of the utilities, whether it's heating or air conditioning, HVAC, as they say, this is bankrupting some people just with the costs, and it's almost a surprise every year. Seriously, do the math. Under Biden, it was outrageous, just the cost of monthly utilities. But taxes and everything else, it contributes to wellness in the home front, protection of the home front, the homeland, all that stuff. So what I like about Matt is he is, as you've seen this with a lot of these leaders, these great leaders, they're soldiers. The Bernard Montgomerys, Field Marshal Montgomerys in England, who my grandfather fought under, Monty. Monty would he'd walk through the camps, the soldier camps, in after hours and stuff, play cards with the guys and stuff. The soldiers. He's a field marshal. So there you go. And that's the kind of guy Matt Cody is, where he cares most about his guys. You know, especially hardworking guys. A lot of them are still working, obviously, and a lot of retired, a lot of really beat up because of the physicality they brought to their jobs. Talk to a guy who's done something for 30, 40 years, even truck drivers and stuff. They're beat up, physically beat up. So these are the folks that Matt Cody represents. And again, I don't know if he's going to be delayed here today, but if not, no matter what, a shout out to him, a shout out to all of his guys, the Oil and Gas Workers of America, and I think it's the ORGAUSA.com. I'll plug that better another time, but anyhow, shout out to him.
I have it. It's up here right now. So Oil Gas Workers USA, so OGWUSA.com. And this is really like a meeting space, right? Where you can come. They're working to save American oil and gas jobs and our entire nation. So we have heroes in the midst. And that's what's exciting. Whether it's police officers, law enforcement, our border security, our firemen, our ambulance drivers. Like, you think about this, you guys are the ones that are like the glue that is keeping things together. And our heart obviously is for those that have retired and are looking for what's next, that next phase. Like, they're not ready to hang things up yet. That poll actually means something, and we're hoping that it signals right to us, because we are actively recruiting, and we want you to come into the fold, and we need you. We desperately we need right where you left off, and there's so much more, and the so much more part includes our generations, and it's
Right.
working together, young and old, experienced, inexperienced. We kind of like hang our egos at the door, and we wake up in kindergarten every day. And I'm in kindergarten around here. Greg's made his way into grade 1, so you'll be between us.
You kind of look like the elementary school teacher there with the glasses. I was gonna ask, do you normally wear glasses? Is that the first time on air? 'Cause they
Well,
look
I
great.
try not to, but I've been getting headaches a little bit lately, so
Yeah.
I'm spending so much more time on the screen. I'm jumping meeting to meeting, and so it comes at a cost, my eyesight a little bit. But you look great this morning, Greg. You have your referee jersey on just in case, because things could get heated. You never know.
Yep. I always say, because I'm the diffuser of political arguments, so I always have my whistle
Right.
ready. That's so if Val ever misbehaves on the mic, I can just go right in here. Did that
Yeah.
come across loud on the mic, or was it really
No.
loud just in my ear?
No, it was good. You can do that. You can do that anytime. That's a good signal. And I'm fairly in check, but there are moments. So yeah, you just never know what'll happen. I'm trained for rapid deployments after all, so you never know where we're gonna go or who's gonna come in live, and that's what this show is all about. So Greg, let's just give an update too, because we are streaming on multiple platforms. You've got your website as well. did you want to just let everyone know where to find the latest information? Like if something goes down and
Sure.
people are like, okay, well, I need to check in with the veteran channel. Where should they go?
Sure, perfect. That's actually good. We call that. I actually call that in radio production front loading, where you put all the information up front, let everybody know, let everyone get their little, their little post-it notes out and their little legal pads out and stuff, and rather than very often at the very very end. And often on a great show, the end is almost just forgotten because it's such a great show. So this is a perfect time to do it. Let me take a few minutes because we're still going to be, hopefully, I've sent a text to Matt Cody to see if he's going to be on or not. If not, no worries. It looks like we might have a shout out or two going on social media. So I'll take just a quick, actually few minutes here and give them a little bit,
Before
folks, a little
you,
bit of history.
yeah,
Yeah,
before you do that, just a quick shout out, Greg. Just 1 minute to update you.
sure.
I want to say good morning to Thomas Payne. He is listening on YouTube. He's watching. So hi, Thomas. Thank
Yep.
you for joining the show today. And Christine is in the green room. So before you go into things, I just wanted to update you on that. So go ahead.
Awesome. Well, how nice. That's a nice potential visitor here, Christine. That would be awesome to hear from her. Everything's at this moment kind of pending on Matt, because of course we dedicated the show to him and stuff. But do either way. Let's take a minute. I appreciate it, Thomas Payne. Pretty appreciate that comment. Always love to hear from Grizz Paschke. Goodness gracious, good. Grizz is actually from the Seattle area. So that's where we have a lot of commonality, but Grizz follows every one of our shows. To give you context here, this product itself, it's the Veteran Channel. The Veteran Channel is a brand new TV channel. It's an online channel. It was founded by our hero, Captain James McCormick. And James McCormick goes back to military broadcasting wise for over a decade. His signature show, which we are taking there's Captain James McCormick. If anyone doesn't know James, they will soon. This guy, I've said before, I think he's the number one guy in the United States of America in terms of connection with the actual troops, both enlisted and retired. But Captain James McCormick had Continue Mission Radio, which this indeed is taking the mantle. And he's going to be featuring it on the Veteran Channel, where it is streaming right now. What's fun is the Veteran Channel. It's going to be, I think it's going to be very large. It's got a large reach already. It goes out, of course, here on my YouTube channel and multi-social media platforms, just folks sharing and stuff. But it also goes out on Amazon TV. It goes on out on Apple TV. It goes out live on Roku, and also streaming 24/7 on all those channels. So it's very cool, very large, of course, international platform at this point. To give people context, Continue Mission Radio Show is really the basis, the anchor of this quote product, and that show is every Friday night going out to our veterans, mainly Vietnam veterans, but also Iraq and Afghanistan guys. And this is an awesome show by Captain James McCormick, and he had his wonderful co-pilots on Father Mike Pacella and Rich Kilblain. And every Friday night, it was late. It was like 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern. That was past my bedtime. But he would go out, and you and I guest hosted on one of those shows those Friday nights. And we went out to 200,000 listeners that night, Val. I always remind James that was a record, but 200,000 vets. So it was very cool. And again, that is the audience that is going to be transferring over to this. To this network as well. So everyone who's listening is in really good company. I met so funny. I mentioned Grizz Paschke a few minutes ago, and I got a text from Grizz when he knew this show was coming on today. And he says, "Thanks to you and Val for what you guys do for my sisters and brothers in the military." Grizz is former Navy, and he was in the Gulf War I. And I'll let him tell the story sometime, but he was on a ship that was hit by enemy fire. Lost a few friends and stuff. So, but I replied back to Grizz, "No, thank you for what you did and do. No, thank you, Grizz. It's you guys and gals.
Yes.
You veterans,
Yes.
You guys were there. I didn't have my ship hit by a missile. You did." So So I always
I
say,
love that you're taking this time, though, to recognize the heroes,
yeah,
whether it's our vets or it's those returning home. I know we have listeners right now that are just returning from their deployment when it comes to securing and keeping our domestic security right here at home safe. So, we can't always mention all the names of listeners that we know are tuned in, but you are heroes, and this show is for you. And we can't say it enough, because it's a point of contact, a point of connection. And I love our vets, I love our law enforcement, and all of you, all of you. Sometimes you blow off, oh, I'm just this, or I'm just that, it's like, no, look where your feet go, look where your heart is, look what you're doing for this country that we love. So don't think we don't see you, because we do, and that's what we're here for.
absolutely. And I think honestly, this is the ongoing theme of this show, and I think the ongoing theme of Middle America is we're on a wave back as far as I say 1950s handshake world, a wave back where this nonsense is nonsense this last 10 years, and I'm not even going to get into it. But this nonsense is nonsense, and the nonsense has got to stop. And I believe we're seeing it. This is closest to politics as I'll get today, Val, because I try to stay in a politics-free zone. But I really do believe that there is a wave back, as I say, to more common sense world. As I say, if we can marry 1950s handshake world with today's technology and amazing, amazing media and reach, then you can change the world. And honestly, that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to do. Can you imagine? I'm sitting here right now in 2025. I'm saying, are you kidding me? I've been aggregate in business for over 50 years now, Val. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. But since the 70s. And I'm saying I've never seen anything where for low or no cost you can platform. People don't realize Facebook, your Facebook page, that's a mini website. That's what people used to pay $2,000 to have the ability you have on Facebook, just as call it profile now. But when you used to have to put together broadcasts or whatever, it was expensive. It was time consuming. We could do very little live. And here we are sitting right now on a platform based out of a company called FrontLayer, which are awesome. Again, Apple TV, Amazon TV, multi-social media platforms can be and will be relayed worldwide. My YouTube channel right now, I'm based in the United States, but I've got a track record of 50 plus countries, and I know there's over 100 that actually will tune in now and then. I'm going, are you kidding me? What an amazing, amazing reach that's possible. So that's what we're doing, and we ask everybody out there, all of you, to participate as well, whether it's like or share or subscribe, whatever, to everyone who is on this same mission of just getting our country back in order. Getting our ducks in a row.
Sifting through, we are in an information war, and it doesn't matter, what part of the world you're in. People are starting to feel like they're almost drowning in that information. And so we really are kind of like a life rafter, because we're submerged in the middle of it. And when we go source, that means we're bringing you the actual guests that, as Greg has said, Matt Cody, he is the president of the Oil Gas Workers Association. He is at the White House today. He is working amongst staff. He is, involved in policy. And that's where you find source level and get them to unpack what they're actually doing. And without that level of trust, it becomes harder to navigate in times like this. So that's what we're doing, is connecting you with the actual truth, the actual real legit truth that you can bank on. And we bring you solutions. We attend meetings behind the scenes, and our focus obviously is for our veterans, our military, those in service to this country. And if there's things that we need to know about, that's what we're here for. You can always drop us an email. Greg, you can go on his website, or my website as well, valolsonnews.com, and let us know what's going on. Let us know where you're watching from. You can comment too. That's the best way, quickest way. We get your comments live in the show. And if there's a shout out that we need to make, we are happy to do that. And we celebrate birthdays around here too. So if there's someone special and you're celebrating, we love to throw birthdays and just honor you and recognize you however we can do that. We are like your co-pilots. So we are here to serve. And today's just really right now going over who, what, where, when, and why. So big news, obviously, with us now platforming on Prime, on Roku, on Apple. And I'm excited because I've checked in with some of our Canadian guests and they are able to download the app. And so they are watching in Canada as well. There's great shows on our app. So you can watch Captain James. He does some digging in with history. So you can see up close and personal like what he does. It's very, very interesting. And we keep updating content on there, and it's in bite-sized shows. So if there's ever something you stumble on and you'd like to know more about that, we do have a living library. It's called Greg Meekin's YouTube channel. So you can always go on YouTube and just in the search bar, enter the topic. So if it's anything, maybe it's Alberta 51 we're talking about, or it's a policy in the United States or a special guest, Greg's YouTube channel is categorized just to perfection. It's very easy to find content on there in bite-sized pieces. He's worked really hard at that. And we never really draw attention to it, Greg, but I think I will for a minute, just how user-friendly it is. And sometimes it's just a bite-sized snippet you need of a topic. So definitely they should be following you on your YouTube channel. Mine is At Home Media Mom. So find it, follow it. And it's just living channel of my life, behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. But it's a great place to just see real life and connect. So thanks, Greg. I'll give the mic back to you.
Awesome, Val. Awesome. So well said. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for the kudos on your YouTube channel. It turns out we have misconnected with Matt. I need to confirm I have it. I need to confirm where to send the invite. Either way, so it's
Okay.
a logistic things. Go single screen for a sec here, and then I'm going to send you an update. But I pray he's okay, because that's just a logistics thing. I'd love to get him on.
Yeah. You take a minute. I'm going to just go through some of our photo album here and just share some behind the scenes pictures, because it's not always that I get minutes to chat with you directly. Good morning, Thomas. Thomas is watching on YouTube this morning. Thank you. Thanks for being here today. So a little about Greg, because Greg never talks about himself. But Greg and I met, oh my goodness, years ago, probably close to 4 years ago. And we had this Canadian connection, me being from Canada, living in the United States. But Greg, actually, one of the coolest stories about Greg that not all of you know about is his personal connection to Wayne Gretzky. You often see his Gretzky jersey on the wall behind him, but true story, he actually did play hockey with Wayne Gretzky. Now, this was at a camp. But I love when he shares these stories. He still has like memorabilia from when he was at this hockey camp. But my favorite part of the story and this incredible weekend that he had was how up close and personal it really truly was. So often these famous people that we come into contact with, you build them up in your mind, you build them up in your heart, and then you meet them and they're the most like not what you expected. And I think that's really a testament to Wayne Gretzky and who he is he really is a legend, but so personable. And there were so many details in this weekend that they shared. And I just love that. I just think
You have no, looks like you have no audio that I hear, Val.
Oh, okay. I think we had an audio issue, but we are back. I was saying that when you find these people, the heroes in the world, and they care and their hearts are genuine, and they're ready they're ready to do whatever it takes and show the next generation. Those are the world changers, the global changers, and we're honored and privileged to have many of them that are a part of this community on the Veteran Channel. And so we have created a space where we will bring them in, and we work around them. They come in, they share with you, and they have to depart fast. Another family, obviously, that we celebrate around here is Sheriff Mark Lamb and Janelle Lamb. That was them earlier this summer. Or was it last? You know what? It's hard to, nope, this was last year. So we had a chance to meet with them actually. Wow, what they're doing is incredible. Sheriff Mark Lamb is a household name around here, but he hasn't stopped. His influence goes far outside of Arizona, but his life mission is law and order, and I love that. He often talks about God, family, and freedom. He has a brand new book out, and I think this is going to be one of his most important books to date. He actually has 3 of them out. But most important, it's because this is for law enforcement, and this is the after the last, what is it? What their last
call, 10-7.
Last call.
Yeah.
I was thinking, is it last call?
dispatch.
Because last call can also mean something else. But
It can mean a lot of things.
but yeah, last call. And this is the what comes next. And we've talked in earlier shows just about, when you don't realize PTSD, so many are affected by it. They don't even know it. They're not diagnosed, but they now have to navigate. And it can be a lonely place. So we hope to change that. This book is a starting place. So 10-7 is available on Amazon. You can log on to Amazon and get it overnight.
Awesome. I'll take a quick chat here and finish that about Mark. As a matter of fact, if you can get a new invite out to Matt,
Yep.
I appreciate it. So I'll just take the screen here for a second. And again, fingers crossed here. The 10-7, Mark Lamb's new book. It's absolutely fabulous. This is not a shameless plug here. Let's give you better there. Is that Mark retired a few months ago, and what do veterans, whether it's military veterans, work veterans, all these guys, what do you do after you retire? And so it's very much in the theme of our whole audience right now, very often getting older. And what do we do when we go to our next assignment? There are a lot of folks out there, sadly out there, that have kind of given up. And old age is really not a pleasant thing. But Sheriff Lamb's contention is that you need to retool. It's kind of a halftime adjustments in football. As you say, Val, you retire, put new tires on, and you redeploy. And so, not just chatting about Sheriff Lamb's book, it's just a fabulous book. Do order it. And what's funny, this whole 10-7 thing, he's got 10-7 consulting where he's going to actually help folks moving on in their professions, help them out, start businesses, direction, mentorship, that type of thing. So it's very, very much in sync with everything that we do on this network. As a matter of fact, I last texted with Sheriff Lamb this morning. He always wishes all of you military veterans, all the military veterans out there, he of course salutes all of you. Of course, so many law enforcement guys as well. So he definitely shouts out to everybody, as does I chatted with briefly this morning with the commander of the USO, Don Leingang, awesome guy. And as usual, can you imagine the USO, how committed they are in what they do on a daily basis? And he always shouts out, he always salutes all of our military. And same thing, law enforcement. All you guys. So there you go. I don't know, Val. I don't know if we have Matt available or not. If not, we can probably kind of wrap up a little bit and retool here once we get our logistics.
Yeah, we'll just give them a minute. We'll give them a minute. The email has just been sent out, so I just want to give him like 2 minutes here just to make sure he gets it. But it has gone out, so we're patient around here.
Sure. Do you want to take a quick minute while it's kind of you and me, as I say, you never know when the show will wrap here, but do you want to take a quick minute and just kind of generally get us caught up? I know how involved you are in Alberta and up in Canadian politics. We are very removed from it down here, as am I, because we're just so busy with U.S. politics right now.
Yeah.
Do you want to just take a couple of minutes, just a couple of minutes, and catch us up? Let us know what's going on kind of in Alberta and stuff. I know the Alberta Separatist Union, Separatist Movement / AB 51 is getting some interesting legs down here and some attention. So I'll give you a few
Yeah.
minutes. Give you a few minutes there.
Okay. So Alberta 51 obviously is a movement where many people, just regular everyday people, just like you or I, they are unable to survive, to make a living, to just enjoy the freedoms that we do here in the United States. It is such a difference between the two borders. Having come from Alberta and being in the United States, it's such an upgraded life here from the most basic of things, whether it be freedom of speech, freedom of religion. We're seeing pastors that are jailed. We're seeing that there's no work available, especially if you are a white guy. Good luck finding work. It's next to impossible there. So that comes down to, how do you feed your family? What can you do? What can't you do? And so many people are looking for alternates, because they're seeing their legacy being their children, their family, and saying, well, how can my children survive in times like this? It's not getting better. So obviously, Canada 51 is a movement that we've heard the President of the United States talk about so many times. I think we're at 50 plus. I've lost count. So it's something that he has talked about, that he loves the people of Canada, and he's obviously aware of the political climate there. And so we're seeing actively that there are people exploring what does the future look like for them. And I've been a part of Canada 51 and Alberta 51 for many years, because I see the benefits firsthand. And it's hard, though. It's difficult. So it's an ongoing journey, but there is an active group there. So I'm going to bring Greg back in, and Matt Cody, our guest today, is just in the green room right now. So he is just getting situated. We're going to have him in a couple minutes.
Right.
But Greg, I'm going to let you take a minute, and while Matt gets settled, just if you
Sure.
want to share the next little bit, give us some info. The 411 on Matt Cody.
Sure. Thank you so much. Boy, logistics, it's all about logistics. We've been trying to connect, and I think this is my bad, not sure, but Matt Cody is now in the studio. We're probably, because of logistics, we're probably only going to get him for maybe 5-10 minutes tops. If you have the wonderful photo of Matt and the president, because he said he's going to be probably audio only here. So are you able to tune into him here, Val?
Yeah, so we have the photo, and I'm going to add Matt to the stage. Good morning, Matt Cody. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. How are y'all today?
Wonderful.
Well, Matt, we've been cooing over you here. Well, we're trying to get our ducks in a row logistics-wise. Everybody, Matt Cody, I'm going to turn the mic over to you. We got a beautiful photo of here of you and President Trump. You take every minute you can. Talk about you, your guys, what you want to share with the listeners, would you?
No, I appreciate you, Greg, Val. We appreciate all you're doing to get the word out about, obviously our niche is saving American oil and gas jobs. And as you look at that photo, I want to clarify that I am the bald guy on the left. The one on the So, what an honor to get to meet President Trump last year, to get to speak at both of his rallies in Butler, Pennsylvania. And of course, because of all of the people involved in this organization who have really helped make it grow. And we want to thank y'all for your part in helping us become more effective as well. We've gotten to go to the White House a couple of times this year. And in fact, we're going back to talk about Roughneck Regiment. Our friend, retired Captain James McCormick, He has really led that effort, connecting America's veterans with USA oil and gas jobs. And that's what OGWA is all about, saving American oil and gas jobs for American workers. Energy security is national security, and who better understands national security than the brave men and women who have served our country honorably in uniform?
Exactly. I shared the website, and this is also a place where oil and gas workers can go, and you have all kinds of information on what you guys are doing. Any words of advice for those people that are just hearing it for the first time, that there is a meeting place for them?
Yeah, absolutely. The USA oil and gas industry, we work 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, to power the nation and fuel the world. It's one of the best industries in all of America. We want people to come and work in the industry. Now, I know that right now, if you're watching drilling rig counts and you're watching oil prices and natural gas prices, there are a lot of panicans out there who don't remember 2017. They don't remember 2008. They don't remember 2020. They don't understand every economic and geopolitical force that's working against our USA oil and gas jobs. And there are a lot of those panicans who are saying, well, I just don't understand because President Trump said this and President Trump said that. People need to understand that our USA oil and gas industry is set to thrive. And what President Trump and his administration are doing right now, approving LNG exports, having massive investment come into the USA oil and gas industry, especially for long-term LNG deals, which President Trump is making deals around the country that will power America's economy for decades to come. I want people to know that the USA oil and gas industry is built to not only to survive, but to thrive long term. And it's because of President Trump's leadership in the White House.
Matt, I have a quick question for you. We chatted on the phone a few days ago. So exciting. You touched on it. The new projects that are going in. You mentioned the natural gas and all the way to the
Yes.
Mississippi. So can you, and as a matter of fact, I need to assure listeners and stuff, are things working out okay? The pipelines, our gas prices are still up there comparatively. Are things going to get better? And let us know down to earth what's going on as far as specific projects you can encourage people on.
They certainly are going to get better, Greg. And that's a great question because a lot of people say in Arizona or Nevada, they don't understand how USA oil and gas impacts their lives because you don't hear about a whole lot of drilling rigs in Arizona or Nevada. So mostly you think of Texas, Louisiana, the Gulf of America. You think of Alaska, you think of Wyoming, a little bit of Colorado, a little bit in California, though Gavin Newsom has run them out of there as quickly as possible. So anyway, you think about the Gulf Coast states. Whenever you're in Arizona, you say, "Hey, wait a minute, why do I need USA natural gas?" Well, whenever you look at the power grids, you understand that USA natural gas comprises about 42% of the electricity, 42% of the power grid for Arizona, for Nevada. And that is reliable, affordable energy that keeps bills lower. Whenever we look at the subsidies that are given to these unreliable intermittents, wind and solar that are imported mostly from China and Europe, people who've been told for years, hey, look, your electric bill is going to go down. It's not going down, it's going up. And so these electric providers that are taking these subsidies, putting on these unreliable intermittents, are still asking for rate increases. And so people have been sold a lie about the reliability or the cost of wind and solar, and they're not seeing those savings. USA natural gas powers our power grids, including in Arizona and Nevada. So you mentioned pipelines. There's a great new project that our friends at Energy Transfer are bringing out of the Permian Basin. So whenever you drill for oil, you get associated natural gas, unless you're drilling specifically for natural gas. What I mean is there aren't different pockets underground where you go, hey, here's the oil, and hey, here's the natural gas. So whenever you drill for oil, you get this associated natural gas. And one of the problems that we've had with the drilling in the Permian is that we didn't have any place to send it. With new LNG terminals coming on the coast, on the Gulf Coast, from Texas to Louisiana and even into Mississippi. We have an export facility there that will allow us to send USA natural gas to our friends and allies around the world and free them from dependence upon the tyrants of Russia and the terrorists of Iran. And that's important. That really shifts the global economy. It also shifts the power. So, in addition to that, our friends at Energy Transfer have a new pipeline that's going to run from the Permian Basin of East Texas and Western, or South, Southeast New Mexico and Western Texas. And they're going to run that pipeline to Western New Mexico and then into Arizona to provide power. And again, we always go back to this, Greg. We always go back to this, Val. USA natural gas is reliable, affordable energy. And people can count on it. And that's what we love. And so whenever people from Arizona ask me, hey, Matt, why should we care about USA natural gas? Because it's important to power your home, to lower your bills.
Matt, on that issue, silly, naive question. Is the U.S., of course, energy independent on national gas and/or are there exports going on? Talk to me about that overall industry.
There are exports going on. In fact, the United States is the world's biggest exporter of natural gas, and demand for U.S. LNG is. We need to bring more natural gas online. We need more export facilities. We need more pipes in the ground so that we can get that gas to market. And whenever you look at the severance tax revenue that's created by the extraction, the production of USA natural gas, those severance taxes go to state coffers, which fund roads, schools, hospitals, social programs, and our first responders, our military, our police, our firefighters, our EMS. And so that's important to provide the services that we have in every state. Whenever you look at New Mexico, of course, neighboring state, oil and gas revenue actually accounts for approximately 40 to 43% of their entire state budget. And just recently, I believe it was last week, Michelle Lujan Grisham, the governor over there, while I certainly disagree with a lot of her policies, she has announced free childcare, which you and I both know the word free doesn't actually exist because somebody's paying for it. It's being paid for out of oil and gas revenue. If New Mexico did not have all of that severance tax revenue from the production, the extraction, and the export of oil and gas, they wouldn't be able to afford anything. So we've seen some state legislators from Arizona to New Mexico to Texas to Louisiana, our friends in Oklahoma, Wyoming, Colorado. We've seen them start to make mock state budgets and subtract the oil and gas revenue in those states. And then when you do that, you have to look at your population and say, now, wait a minute, which 40% do we want to cut out of this? Which 40% do we want to cut off from this? Do we want to complete this road about 60%, and just leave the other 40% undone? So whenever people think about oil and gas, they need to think, man, I want a fully funded economy. I want to be able to support our police, our firefighters, our EMS. I want to be able to give them raises to keep up with inflation because they're often stuck in government contracts. We want our schools to have all the revenue that they can have so that our children are well educated. We want our hospitals funded, and we don't want to have to pay for illegals either.
I love that. I love that. Can you talk about what's coming up next for you guys? Is there anything you guys are working on right now that is like situation critical?
Absolutely, Val. In fact, this week we've been in D.C. visiting with members of Congress and specifically with the House Homeland Security Committee, and we're going to the White House as well to talk about this issue. In addition to talking about Roughneck Regiment connecting America's veterans with USA oil and gas jobs, we're going to talk about the Nuclear Regulatory Commission granting a permit in 2023 to interim storage partners. So they allowed for interim storage partners to have a permit to store high level nuclear waste above ground. That's the kicker, above ground in the middle of the Permian Basin, which is America's most prolific oil producing region. That is Southeast New Mexico and West Texas. It's America's biggest oil field. Approximately 50% of the oil that we produce in this country comes out of the Permian Basin. Now, the Nuclear Regulatory Commission granted this permit to interim storage partners for above ground storage. We already have below ground storage out at the state line of Texas and New Mexico. But this one is the most concerning, especially since we've seen the rise in drone warfare. First, with Ukraine using drones to attack Russia. And then last night, we saw Russia use drones to attack Poland. And I believe only 3 of the 9 or 3 of the 13 were actually taken down. And so we have seen the rise of drone warfare. And I'm sure y'all know Jack Posobiec. You know, I've talked with Jack Posobiec a lot. He and I got to visit a little bit on the front row of President Trump's Butler Rally redo October 5th last year. And so he and I have connected, and he was talking about the rise of drone warfare as well. And that's one of the things that last year I was able to talk with Texas State Senator Bob Hall about. You know, during the Biden Harris administration, we were concerned about above ground nuclear storage, specifically tied to their open borders policies with President Trump and JD Vance in office and their whole administration. You know, we can't say enough about our friends, Border Czar Tom Homan, Christy Nome, Deputy Director of ICE Madison Sheehan, and Director Lyons. And so President Trump's administration is securing our borders, and that's not the specific concern right now, but drone warfare is. And as we see that rising globally, you can think of the very, very bad impacts that a drone strike on nuclear storage above ground in the middle of America's most prolific oil producing region would cause for centuries, really. Because if there were to be a high level nuclear release above ground, it could shut down the Permian Basin for decades or centuries and make us dependent upon foreign oil.
Matt, please tell us we're going to be okay there. I'll tell you, this drone world, that scares me to death in a lot of different applications. The
And it
word
should scare
AI.
every American, Greg. No, you're absolutely right, Greg. Every American should be concerned about this, and I want you to know that every member of the House Homeland Security Committee that we have talked with. We got to talk with Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene yesterday, Josh Burkeen out of Oklahoma, Tony Gonzalez out of Texas, and of course, the Congressman August Pfluger, who's from right there in Midland, Texas. He has been leading the effort, and our friends at ProtectTheBasin.com, Monica Perales and Tommy Taylor at Faskin and Ranch, they and some other producers, Permian Resources, Double Eagle Energy, Cody Campbell, the city of Fort Worth, Governor Jeff Landry out of Louisiana, Madison Sheehan at Department of Homeland Security, our friend State Representative Jacob Landry from Louisiana, and I think I already mentioned Cody Campbell, but there is a whole list of people, in addition to Senator Ted Cruz and Governor Greg Abbott, who have been fighting back against this. And our communications with the White House have been very positive. President Trump's administration is listening and working on a solution to this. And so you asked the question, are we going to be okay? Let me tell you that with President Trump and JD Vance in office right now, and with the members of Congress that we have who are focused on resolving the issue, the answer is yes, we are going to be okay. This issue is going to be resolved, and America will be secure.
Matt, I had on our last show, and thank you so much for making time to be on here today. But on our last show, I brought something kind of out of the blue to Val, and it was the fact that in my life, dual citizen, I've lived through 13 U.S. presidents and 13 Canadian prime ministers. Imagine that. And this is the first time in my entire life where I'm sitting back and saying, you know, I kind of trust my government. I trust my government, not across the board, but the administration and his cabinet rock stars, these secretaries and directors that we see within the administration. You kind of went through the list, but can you kind of confirm that? Are these people that because I say trust, meaning I think they're looking out for the American people. I think they're looking out for me, man. Can you confirm that?
Yes, I can. Uh, we are very blessed to have developed relationships with people who are in this administration. Sean Parnell, the Pentagon spokesman and special assistant to Sec War, Pete Hegseth, served on our advisory board for a couple of years. And we are confident, not just in Sec War, but in Sean Parnell, with our entire Secretary of War. Christy Noem, of course, Secretary, and Master Sheehan and President Trump, getting to visit Washington, D.C., you see it on the news and you hear that it's being cleaned up. But until you visit D.C., you don't understand what I'm about to say. There's a whole different vibe. People are excited to be here. It's a little bit calmer. You're not worried. You're not scared whenever you go out. Our National Guard that several governors of states have sent to DC to help secure DC. We cannot thank them enough, but that's happening all across the country. And so you ask, can we have that faith, that trust in the people who are leading our country now? And the answer is yes.
If you had an opportunity to speak directly to your guys, your membership right now, because you guys have been growing, Matt. Tell me a little bit about that, your organization, and also if you could speak directly to them, if you had something, whether it's words of encouragement. I know you got a big association. There's no way to shake hands with every person every day, but what would your message be to your guys if you had
It's
a minute
always
on that?
this. No. Great question, Greg and Val, and again, I appreciate y'all having me on. We're always very, very grateful to be on with y'all. We appreciate all y'all are doing to get the word out. Our message always to our members and to every American by extension, especially right now, while it's a very nervous oil field and people are kind of in a holding pattern, and we see rig counts dropping, we see oil prices not where we'd like them, and then gas prices are not coming down, which people need to look at their state legislature and their governors and figure out, wait a minute, why are our gas taxes so high? If the price per barrel of oil is down this low, why is our state legislature charging us this much? And so people need to look at their state legislatures and stop blaming oil companies, oil and gas workers, or the president, because I guarantee you none of those are at fault. But to our members and to everybody who supports American oil and gas, we remember 2017. 2017, President Trump was digging us out of 8 years of Obama, and it took a while to turn around. 2018 was a lot better. 2019 was stellar. And 2020 would have been incredible if China hadn't unleashed a virus on us during the middle of an election year to shut down our economy. I don't care who disagrees with me. What was it JD Vance said the other day? I don't give a shit what you think. I like
Mhm.
that about him. I like that about President Trump, that we're just saying whatever we need to say right now, because for too long we've gotten caught up in the diplomatic words, where people who wanted a polished liar like Obama or like Joe Biden. What we need is honesty in politics, and that's what we're getting from this administration. If not a lot of people outside of the American oil and gas industry remember how dark April 20th of 2020 was, but that was the day that oil crashed into negative numbers after the double whammy of the downturn in world oil demand from the COVID pandemic and then the Saudi Russia price war. Additionally, what most people don't understand is that President Trump helped broker an end to that Saudi Russia price war in order to save American oil and gas jobs as much as he could. And so we're confident that President Trump, JD Vance, and their administration will lead USA oil and gas back to the forefront, back to great heights. It's going to take some time. We're digging out of 4 years of open borders policies, Joe Biden and Kamala
Mhm.
Harris holding up USA oil and gas exports while
Mhm.
our adversaries were allowed to advance. But with President Trump in the White House, we're confident that America is not just going to be great again, but we will be energy dominant.
That is so wonderful to hear. That's good news, and the world, the whole country needs good news. Val Olson, do you have a question or a quick question for Matt? Because I know you're going to have to be signing off one of these minutes here, Matt. You're such a busy guy, but Val Olson, take the mic a little bit. Ask Matt whatever is on your heart here.
I just want to reach out to his regiment and say thank you. And thank you, Matt, for what you're leading. It's so inspiring to see the leadership firsthand and the hearts of these leaders, because you guys are heroes. And our oil security is national security. Our home front is domestic security. And that's what it's all about. So thank you for representing. And I just want to say thank you. That's all I have. Back to you.
Hey, thank you, Val. We always appreciate you. Thank you so much for having our backs. Thank you so much for all you do.
Matt, do you have to run, or do you have a time for a quick
I
question?
do. Go
Uh,
ahead, Greg. I've got time for one last question.
Okay. Um, I mentioned earlier and you said it's gonna take time. Things like pipelines, take time and years, especially if you're California. My question to you is: do you see in President Trump? Do you see the willingness to not only, of course, push these projects, but fast track them, so that it can be sooner rather than later? I know it's a broad question, but based on you knowing Trump and you've chatted with him, what's your thoughts there?
He absolutely does know that we need to fast track this. President Trump, even though we see states redistricting and it looks like we should be able to hold the House, or that Republicans should be able to hold the House in 2026 and hold the Senate, obviously, President Trump learned a lot from his first administration. And so while I would not wish 4 years of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris on anyone, what President Trump and his team had was 4 years to learn, to figure out how to address it, to make a plan, so that from day one they weren't having to figure out a plan once he was back in the White House. It was, hey, day one, we're getting into action. We're jumping into action. So President Trump and his administration know that these pipelines, these infrastructure projects, these gas processing plants, and possibly new oil refineries have to be done now. They have to be fast tracked. All the permitting has to be done. He understands that there's always a possibility that Republicans lose one of the chambers of Congress in the 2026 midterms. And so I was listening to Mark Wayne Mullen just to say this about President Trump. I think the world of Senator Mullen out of Oklahoma. That man, he works nonstop too. But he was talking about President Trump, and he was saying President Trump doesn't sleep. And he reminds me of my friend Jacob Landry, the state rep out of Louisiana. I mean, he's up early, he's up late. But President Trump, he's working at 12:40 in the morning or 5:30 in the
Yep.
morning. He works around the clock. And I said this to people after the first time I got to meet him last year, July 13th, Butler, Pennsylvania. Obviously that day did not end up the way I had envisioned. It certainly did not end up the way President Trump envisioned. But thank God he's alive and okay. But I wish every American got the chance to meet President Trump in person,
Right.
just to
Yeah.
shake his hand, talk with him for a couple of minutes, to understand
Yeah.
how warm, how friendly, how genuine he is, and how hard he works to save American jobs. So
That's right.
we're in good
That's right.
hands with this administration.
Everyone I've heard that's met him, the Captain James McCormick, Sheriff Mark Lamb, they say to meet him is to like him. The greatest guy in the world. Yeah, you're right here, man. He works like 20, 21 hours a day. I mean, he does.
I believe that. Yes, I
Um,
believe that.
Amazing. Let folks know. We'll cut you loose here. Let folks know what they can do to help you guys, where they can find you, all that stuff. I can't thank you enough. This is going to be a rain check too for definitely another full episode, Matt, when it's not so crazy logistics. And I would like to have you back on. I want to hear a bunch of stuff. This was only the tip of the iceberg today. I want to hear Butler, PA. Want to hear about that? I want to hear more about these natural gas pipelines and stuff. So you're invited back. Official invitation. Let's see if we can't just do maybe a 1 or 2 show next time. Hour show next time. Thank you for popping on, and let people know where they can find you, man.
Yes, thank you for having me on. You can find us at OGWA OGWAUSA.com. If you want to join us, it's /join. If you just want to donate to OGWA, we appreciate all the support we can get. It's OGWAUSA.com /donate. Hey, God bless y'all and God bless America.
Thanks so
Thank you,
much.
Matt.
So that is the
All right. Y'all have a
website
good day.
as well. So this is the website here. It's really great, easy to navigate. So you can check it out. You can donate, but you can also meet their advisory board. The policies that Matt was talking about today are there. And White House 2025, one big, beautiful event. So you are invited to President Trump's White House again. Isn't that exciting? So these are some of the highlights that you can see there, just how hard our heroes are at work. And that's what it's all about. We are bringing you right from the White House. You get a eagle eye view of what's going on. And there's Matt working hard. It's so exciting just to see. You know, we have to say a good job, really good job. Like you said, it feels safe. You have some
Right.
trust in the administration.
Well, all I see are these great guys, these great guys and gals. And it starts with the administration. You know, these guys, people in front of here, Matt Cody, he's a rock star. These guys work their butt off, Val. Him and James, I saw a copy of James's schedule for tomorrow. I just couldn't believe it. You know, that someone can do so many appointments and so many meetings and stuff in a single day. So God bless everybody, all those guys, including Matt Cody. He is, as I say, a rock star. These are hardworking guys. And if you would, Val, we're a little over an hour here and stuff. We had some little logistics issues, of course, trying to get Matt on, and I so appreciate his time. Wasn't that incredible information that he brings to
Wow.
the table? It was
Yes.
amazing. So I'll just let you sign this off. Take a minute or so just to give us a summary of the show. I'll sit back, as a matter of fact, and just say, thank you, everybody. I'll sign off here. Thank you, everybody who tuned in, the folks who commented, and the folks that are going to be seeing this. That's going to be available 24/7 on multi-platform. So thanks to all of you guys. I sincerely, as ever, Val, I thank you for being a fantastic facilitator of the broadcast. Love the glasses. Why don't you do the glasses? That's really good. And of course, to Matt Cody, a special reach out to Captain James McCormick, who tried to make it in today.
Yes. Yes. That's what rapid deployment. That's what
Yes.
rapid deployment is all about today. So I'm just going to
Exactly.
paraphrase, and I have a couple shout outs here as well. So we had Matt Cody on today, which was very exciting. He shared what's going on, what's happening in the White House. So if you're joining late on the show, you're watching on Apple, Roku, or Prime, thank you for being here, or you might be watching on the back end on our YouTube channel. We wanted to say a special good morning to Thomas Payne this morning. And also, this show exists as a way to connect our heroes, because there is a lot of you. And I have a special message this morning, and I'm going to read this because this is what it's all about. So to our vets past, present, and future, this is for you. This is going out to an officer this morning. This is your captain. You just walked through fire. You stared down chaos. You took the fight head on, and you didn't back down. You pulled 9 out of 10 into the light. 9 children live because you refused to quit. That's not luck. That's not chance. That's courage. That's victory. Yes, one was lost, and you'll feel that cut. You'll bleed for it. You'll carry it, because you're not hollow. You're not stone. You're a man, a warrior. And warriors don't walk away untouched. But don't you dare let that loss chain you down. You turn it into fire. You turn it into fuel. You let it drive you harder, faster, stronger the next time. 9 lives, 9 futures, 9 families whole tonight, because you stood your ground while hell raged around you. That's what men like you are forged for. That's what this badge means. Stand tall. Hold your head high. You went into the storm and came out standing. The world needs men who don't flinch, men who don't run, You are that man. And when the next fire breaks, I know exactly who's charging in first. So we salute you, heroes, past, present, and future. We are actively recruiting here on the Veteran Channel, and your mission starts now.
Welcome to Continue Mission Radio with Captain James McCormick. By veterans, for veterans. Guest hosts tonight are author Greg Meekin and Miss Val, our military radio gal. Continue Mission starts now.